Alright, last thing to do is take the old bracket off where the radius arms went in there. 315 mil. Should get her off there, and I'm going to show you how bad this was getting. Alright, not only is this sleeve wearing and above here, see this big divot up here in the frame? That's all the radius arm. It's all digging into the frame, so we're going to get that off and get the new one put on. Alright, now before anything gets reinstalled, we degreased this whole area. We pressure washed it. Just need a light brushing over some brush here, and then we're going to put some rust encapsulator all over these brackets here and get these covered. Alright guys, we're back. I know we're kind of jump cutting to almost a finished product here. I've been chasing thunderstorms as we've been doing this, and it's been very difficult to film. So if there's any questions you can ask me, go ahead and shoot Jeremy of Weldtec a question, and go watch his 3-part series. He does the front and rear on a standard E350 van. This is just kind of my experience that I'm sharing with you. Everything went together exactly the way it came apart and the way it was supposed to. The only issue I had is there is a through bolt, comes all the way through the twin I-beam all the way to the bottom there, and I did have to, on his radius arms, it was a really tight fit, and even to hammer it through, I thought maybe it was just a little bit of powder coating, and then I didn't want to bung up the threads on that big bolt that goes through your I-beam. So on that guy, I did just round that out just a little bit. It's still a super tight fit. I still had to tap it through right on the threads, but yeah, we'll show you. I'm not talking about the eccentric bolt at the top here, but the actual bolt that is at the bottom of the spring that actually goes all the way through the I-beam and attaches the radius arm to the bent twin I-beam. That was the only issue I had. I'll put in a quick photo, realized that my brake pads were pretty much down to nothing, so that's actually what I'm currently doing this morning. Then we're going to get this jacked up. I'm going to get tires on it. I'm going to see where it sits. I'm going to play with the top eccentric here and a little bit of the tie rod to see if I can just kind of get it ballparked before we take it to the shop and get it aligned so it is drivable. But stay tuned. Alright, quick little, this is a number 6 metric. We're taking off the smaller bolts now that I have the full assembly back onto the knuckle. We're going to be taking the smaller bolts off. These are, at least on mine, they're not the star, they are a proper Allen wrench, but someone who's been using a standard on this, probably a 7/32 standard, because they're all bunged up. So I did pound in number 6 and they fit perfectly. So we're going to pull this off, get this actual, I don't know what you call it, caliper bracket that holds the pads in here, and we're going to rip those pads out, press that out, and I'll show you another trick that I do anytime I'm doing brake work, just for a little extra something while you guys are doing these. Alright, so I'm going to be using that 303 aerospace I've shown you guys in previous videos. So these boots here are pushed all the way out, and before I shove them in to fit the new pads for the new thickness, I'm going to clean those up and really soak that in with the 303, as well as these boots here, just to make sure they don't crack. I'm going to be doing the brake lines again, the 303. Anything rubber gets 303 with mine, so it keeps them from cracking, lasts a lot longer. This is basically like moisturizer for rubber. It's the only thing I found that rubber actually like soaks in instead of just making it shiny on the outside. So yeah, 303. Make sure that you don't get any cracked boots or anything in here. These are a little bit gnarly. I will say my driver's side's got a little bit more meat on it than my passenger did, so either that's from your master cylinder, they were changed at different times, they're all evenly worn, so I'm pretty sure the calipers are doing a pretty good job. However, it seems that the front right is getting more power, which I think actually happens quite often with whatever master cylinder that Ford uses, because I hear that complaint a lot from either just F-Series like 350s and 250s owners, that they'll burn up pads on the front right quicker, and that's probably just from being proportioned weird from the factory. But I'm not a mechanic, guys, just a backwoods, backcountry driveway mechanic. We're going to get these things changed out. Now, if you want to know, we're just using old pad and a big C-clamp. And we're going to soak that 303, get it cleaned up, and we're going to push those pistons back in there. Alright, quick spray and a quick wipe. Nice and clean. You can see how sort of supple and the rubber is, so shouldn't have any issues cracking when I push that back in. I'm going to clean it up a little bit more, and we'll get this thing back on the road. Something to be aware of, you may have to take out some brake fluid out of your reservoir. If this has been squeezed in over thousands of miles and then somebody came in by and topped up your brake reservoir, you're not going to have enough. So I've siphoned a little bit out, put a rag around this as I squeeze this out. It should allow the air to change, and then of course it might leak out a little bit and the rag should catch it. Thanks for all the love and support. You guys are amazing. Please like, share, and subscribe. Follow the adventure on social media, and we'll see you on the road.